Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Theoretically Horrifying, where today we'll be discussing Black Mirror as the new season starts in June.
Yeah,
correct?
June, yeah.
June. So, how have you been, Grace?
I've been really good. I'm just tired, but yeah.
Tired.
And it's annoying because there's so many bank holidays coming up and I'm stuck working and it's very annoying because next door keeps having barbecues and it's just the temptation.
Jealous.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I feel that.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I've been good. Obviously it was my birthday, so I'm old now. Yeah, we didn't really do much. Watched the movies, got takeout, just chilled. I got the week off, so I am excited though about. And we were just talking about this earlier. Maxine, did you see the little preview thing that they put out? The little behind the scenes shot.
No. What?
Well, it's not really behind the scenes. It's just a still from the. Oh my god.
No, I haven't
Oh
actually.
my god. Hold on.
Oh,
They
okay.
looked so good.
Is that
And
Halsey?
I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea she was in it. And I'm
know.
excited to see. I mean, I haven't seen her act other than in her own music videos.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
It looks very vibrant compared to Pearl and X. I don't know. It's very it's sort of giving me Stranger Things vibes. If that when they're in the height of the 80s situation.
Mhm. It looks. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad you hadn't seen that because now this is the first time you've seen it.
Introduced me.
I mean, by the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be loads has come out by then.
Oh my gosh, that'll be the next topic.
Okay, so should we get into Black Mirror anyway?
Yeah, Black Mirror. I've got a nice little question for you if you're ready.
Oh, straight into the questions. Okay,
Go for it. So, you live in a society where your life and worth is predicted on your rating, akin to an Uber rating that you'd get out of 5 stars.
Oh, that's my favourite one.
So your friendship, your housing, everything's determined by it. However, as you can imagine, that can be quite strenuous on the need to be perfect all the time and never saying anything wrong or anything. However, you do have the option, you can go to prison, bit extreme, but you don't have ratings. It's just a simpler process. But of course, prison isn't a pleasant place. If you had to choose in which society to live in, which would you go for?
Oh, I think the rating one. People love me. I'd just be like, yeah, no, it's fine. I could live with. I think I could keep up. Though me saying this would probably make my ratings go down by being so obnoxious about it. But I think I could keep solid ratings.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really surprised. Not that people like you, that sounds horrible, but surprised in terms of just go for it and see what happens. Because worst case, you can always go to prison. It's not like you
Exactly.
But I don't know, it really stresses me out. I think I would say things all the time, and in terms of that world would get me cancelled. I think I would just offend everyone.
I don't think I offend people that much. I try to keep
neutral.
If I'm going to say something offensive, I'm going to say it to people that don't mind.
Yeah. I can get away with that one with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, but I am I say yes to everything. And then I'm oh my gosh, I haven't got the time, or I need to do this. And then I just let people down. So I feel my rating. But then if I keep everything else sweet, well then I'm okay with a 3.5 rather than a 4. But yeah, it's doable.
Yeah, I think you can keep it solid. You don't need to be, 5 stars all the time.
Exactly.
You could be. Yeah, as long as you're not less than 3, you're probably right.
Yeah, oh gosh.
So you just need to be completely average to live an okay life.
Yeah, just not below average.
Yeah. But also, in a society like that, I feel like people will probably be more judgy.
Yeah.
Because, I'm people like me now.
Oh,
but
you could just blackmail loads of people.
People are going to, be petty about it. They'll look at your rating and be like, oh, just because she's got a higher rating than me, I'm going to put her down so that it goes down.
I know.
Because people are like
just
that.
rude. I'm going to, rate them badly myself. Meow.
Yeah. Imagine how bad that would be for celebrities.
Oh my gosh.
It's they say one wrong thing.
I feel like
the
rating system's already in place. The rating
Yeah,
system,
like everyone gets cancelled.
yeah, it's just there, not in a metaphysical sense, but it's there.
But it would affect them in terms of like they suddenly wouldn't have access to all of their money in that. Whereas like now they just buy themselves out
Yeah,
of
they can
trouble
still have the
a lot of the
access.
time.
Of course, it might affect the odd brand deal,
Yeah.
but in terms of
Yeah.
everything else, but oh gosh, I never thought about that. That it affects the money that much, because I feel like money saves a lot of things. So interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a good question. What would you do?
I think I would have a go at the ratings, but I could see it just ending up in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Just the natural trajectory of the situation.
I love that. I think you would do better in prison than I would.
Oh, thanks. That's actually really complimentary.
I think you're a bit tougher than me. I'm too soft.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm just hide my emotional wreck status extremely well. Thank you.
I don't.
I'm a Gemini, so, you know.
I'm just looking through the episodes to see. Oh, do you know what is a... Oh, I hate this one. It, like, freaks me out. Archangel, the one with, like, the chip in the kid's head.
Oh, yeah, where...
So she can't see bad things.
Yeah, so it censors it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. A lot of people
I
hate it.
that. Yeah. Would you, like, if you had a child in that world, would you? I would not chip my child's brain.
No
That's
way.
insane.
Because, like, of course, if you don't need a child to see something, there are ways to go about it. But you don't need to, like, go to the extreme.
Blind them.
Yeah.
That was a conversation stopper. Also, the fact that it like does everything down to like the dog barking at her.
Yeah, I feel like it's an extreme. It's sort of, you know, it sort of reminds me of, I mean, I don't know your knowledge on it, but do you know the video nasty scandal? So, like, in the 1980s Britain, they banned all these films. It was obviously a big campaign headed by Mary Whitehouse of the MVALA. Anyway, Graham Bright, who was an MP at the time, actually released a statement saying these video nasties, these films, which included Cannibal Holocaust and Faces of Death at the extreme, but then they also included The Evil Dead, etc., and Driller Killer. They said it would not only affect the children, it would infect the dogs of the home.
That's insane.
Yeah, so that the dog scene sort of just reminded me of that a little bit, with censorship and dogs. Yeah.
Gosh, you're so smart, you know so
I
much.
do, but...
You're always like, oh, do you know about this thing? And I'm like, huh? What thing?
Gosh.
What is your favourite episode
Oh,
of all time? That's a big question.
yeah, I have... So I'm going to say my all-time favourite is actually the first ever episode, the one with the pig and the princess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just really like
The
that.
one that you... I just skipped the first episode for some reason for the longest time until you said, no, you need to watch that.
And
I was
then
like,
there was... the other one, I can't remember. I think it's Shut Up and Dance. You know, the one where the guy was found to be doing some dodgy stuff online. And
I
yeah.
hated that one. I watched that during my lunch break at work
Oof.
with one of my co-workers. And we put it on, and immediately I went, he's a nonce. And she was like, that's a kid. He's a kid himself. Oh, what are you talking about? I was like, nah, I'm telling you. Like, the second he picked up that little toy, I was like, nonce behaviour.
Oh my gosh.
And I was... Oh, spoiler, I was correct.
I had no idea, not gonna lie, I had no idea. It just wasn't, I don't know, I just didn't think of it. And then I was just like, oh, that's good. I really enjoyed that. I feel like it was a very dark subject tone, but it was heralded in such a way that it wasn't too extreme, because I mean, bit of a weird personal preference, I actually really like exploring those taboo subjects through cinema. But sometimes when you get that media, it's really heinous and very graphic. So sometimes it's nice to just have something mellow within the lines of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with you. I like seeing that sort of thing in cinema and those themes, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
you know what
of
I mean? Like, I
course.
don't like the graphic side of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, if you don't like things really graphic, then you're not a real horror
It's
fan. I'm
personal
like, shut up, I
preference.
don't want to see people get R-worded. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that was a really good
Just
episode.
put it off screen, you know?
Totally get it. And I think they did a great job at doing that. I feel like that's Black Mirror in general.
Yeah.
They They do an equal amount of showing and an equal amount of telling, and depending on the episode,
Yeah.
I feel like it works really well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
Oh god. I think it was not my favourite, which I think is really overrated. I like it. It's not bad, but everyone loves San Junipero.
Oh my gosh, I cannot agree with you anymore. I actually think that might be one of my least favourite episodes.
Yeah. I think it's fine, and it was sweet, and I like the themes that they went through, but I just thought it was a little bit boring.
Yeah, exactly. It's sweet. I don't watch Black Mirror to be heartwarmed. I want to be disturbed, defiled.
A lot of people said, especially when I had red hair, they were like, "You look like the girl." I think it's the glasses as well. They're like, "You look like the girl from San Junipero." I'm like, I know. Don't need to tell me.
Yeah, that episode, it just, I don't know, but I feel like it's really weird because critically based, it's the most admired episode, which, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, like a bad one, but it doesn't do it for me.
I think, I don't know. Oh, what is my favourite? That's such a good question. Well, I love Nosedive. Nosedive is up there. I'm going to do top 3.
Yeah.
Nosedive, 15 Million Merits, and I've forgotten the name of it, but it was on the newer season where the 2 guys are playing the video game.
Like Striking Vipers or something.
Yeah, that's
an interesting one.
Yeah, I really like that one.
That ending of where it's the deal of like the wedding rings off for the night and you have your video game.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Creepy, but I like it. Those 3.
It was really good.
I love 15 Million Merits. I think because it's I'm like, that is so plausible. I feel like that is actually something that could happen.
I feel like it's one of the worst fates because obviously, of course, the idea of the Black Mirror is that at the end you're like, God, I'd hate that. That's so awful. I feel like it's one of the worst ones because there's such a lack of like human connection, and it just seems so dismal. But then at the same time, I feel like they managed to do that episode for like an hour or whatever, and I wasn't bored once.
Yeah.
That is a good ep.
God, it's so good. Oh, man. That's a good one. I don't like that it's too real, though. Like, I feel like... And getting into real topics here, and this might sound a little conspiracy theorist of me, but with the merits thing and the fact that they want to have... I've forgotten what the government are calling it. Like, instead of money and then not bank transfers, they're having like a credit system they want to put in place. I don't know what it's called, but I'm like, that is that. That is the same thing.
Yeah, the whole
we're going to end up in that situation.
Cashless society.
Yeah. What is that called? Central bank digital currency. That's what it's called. Programmable money.
I don't like that. Go do one.
Yeah. So this would mean that the state or an employer could potentially put restrictions on how your money is spent.
Okay.
That's insane.
See, this is why as soon as like I hear the gong that happens before the like BBC News, I'm like, mute the TV. I was just like, no, thank you. It's not going to do anything.
It is depressing, but I need to know.
No, I am an ignorance is bliss girl. You just don't tell me. Do you know what I mean? I'm good, thank you.
And then it's too late, and you can't do anything about it because you don't know.
Exactly, it's too late. Can't do anything anyway.
That's not a good
I'll be
thing.
fine with my tinfoil hat. It's all good.
Oh dear. But those are my 3 favourite episodes. We're on a little bit of a tangent there.
No, it's good, it's good. Do you like the one, I can't remember, it's called something like Black Bear, White Bear, I think it's called something.
White
Bear?
The one with the woman who...
She's a child killer.
Kidnapped and killed the kid.
Yeah, and then she has to live the whole day over again with her memory wiped as a punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for that idea with some people. Like, they deserve that. Like, I'm talking about the worst of the worst.
See, I always get fun, and Nathan has a go at me for it, because I don't always agree that... So, he thinks a lot of crimes, the punishment should be the crime. Like, back onto that person.
Yeah.
And I am not 100% sure how I feel about that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
But I get why people would want that, and
Yeah.
I feel like if something happened to someone I care about,
Yeah.
I would probably
Yeah.
feel the same way. I think it's because I'm disconnected from
That person.
crime. Touch wood. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, I feel like sometimes you see these horrible cases of someone didn't actually do it and they're convicted for it. That's horrible. But then I hear some of these other cases, I'm like, nah, like, you deserve that. But then I feel like if we're talking about this rule in real life, you can't just pick and choose.
Yeah,
That's
I was
the
going to say, like,
issue.
where do you draw the line? Like, of course, like, the Ted Bundys of the world would deserve that.
Yeah.
But then someone who maybe, not saying that it is okay at all, but someone who commits a murder in, like, a fit of rage.
Yeah, or something.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, you know, they're not a calculated killer. They're not killing for fun. They just...
It was just something.
Take it too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, like...
And it's like, well, where do you draw the line?
It's kind of weird because, I mean, for example, there's someone, I won't go into detail, but her name is Vanessa George, and she's currently out of the prison system in the UK. She's still old enough to have her life and everything, young enough, sorry. And what she did, I'm not going to say anything, all I'm going to say is that she worked at a nursery, and you can make up your own mind with that. Yeah. And she's free now.
Yeah, I don't think they should be freed. I'm not insane.
Yeah, like that's so with her, I'm like, yeah, she could like have that punishment, but then again, where do you can't just, oh yeah, this person, they don't get that because of this reason, because then it entitles to a form of elitism, which I don't necessarily agree with.
I think they should just rot in prison forever.
Yes, solitary confinement.
And then on the odd occasion where someone is wrongfully accused, you know, at least they haven't been death sentenced. They're like, okay, very unfortunately, this person has wasted 30 years of their life in prison. They don't deserve it. But they should just be let out and given some
reparations.
I know it's not the ideal solution, but some kind of compensation for the, you know, for being in prison wrongfully.
I mean, that's like my worst nightmare, prison. Like, obviously, of course, we talked about the nosedive thing and all that, but like actual real life prison sounds horrid to me. I hate the idea of it. And you always see, I mean, I listen to a lot of true crime, and you see these people, I mean, some people are like, oh, don't do this and you won't get caught, don't do that and you won't get caught, like, return to the crime scene, burn your clothes. And yet, in another case, someone will do that and something else will get them caught. I feel like there's so many different factors that you could get done for, you'd forget about, that it just wouldn't be worth it.
Crime.
I feel like, obviously, the extreme, you just go straight to murder.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just seems horrid. Because the issue is, of course, without getting political, certain prison systems, and depending on the hierarchy that you hold outside of the prison, especially if you're involved in any gang activity, prison's a different situation. But for the lone person, I mean, there's a great TV miniseries on BBC called Time, and he is a drunk driver that killed someone, and he's sobered up, everything, and it's apparently one of the most real depictions of British prison systems, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It is horrible.
Yeah. Apparently, it doesn't really work, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you see, especially with America, like, they go to prison and they just keep going back.
Yeah.
You know, they just keep... And it's, like, worse every time. What is the one? Is it White Christmas, maybe? No, it's not White Christmas. There's one where they have, like, a chip in their brain where they can look back on all their memories. Oh, the entire history of you.
Yeah. I think that's not like the first season.
Oh. Yeah. I am not a fan of that one either.
No.
I feel like I would be one of the few people that didn't have that. But Nathan is like that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, his memory is too good. It's annoying. And I'm like, I wish I could just clear some of his memory out. Because
No, I get...
wins every argument.
I don't like it, because don't you think that you would get caught up in things like, hold on a second, that person said that they never liked this, and you go back and be like, and then that, I know it sounds silly, but then you could work out deeper lies within that.
Yeah. And, like, when the guy, you know, he's, like, going back through his memories, the fact that you can, like, zoom in and stuff like that.
I don't like that.
Don't like
it's
that.
Creepy. I do think there's some sort of beauty in the thought of human development that we can't remember everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently, I don't know how true this is, but when you're a child, that part of the reason that you can't remember things is because it would be traumatizing to remember. Like, to remember not being able to, like, clean after yourself and being completely dependent on someone else.
What, like in the very primary stages?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like when you're like a baby.
That's really interesting.
I don't know how true that is. I might just be like spewing rubbish.
No, it's very interesting because I feel like that's the interesting thing with some of these psychological development studies is that, of course, everyone's going to have a different opinion. Different scientists will be like, nah, that's rubbish. I agree with this guy instead. But that's really interesting, and it makes it kind of, I wouldn't put it past it being sensible and plausible.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And the fact that, you know, the brain, like takes trauma and goes, no, that's too much, and puts it in a box.
Yeah. It
like,
wouldn't surprise us that.
Imagine if, like, you had a chip in your brain and then you could just go, huh, what's in this box?
I know.
And then you look, and then you open the box in your brain. I mean, that's kind of what therapy is, but that's a controlled space.
Yeah.
Where the professional, it's not just you going, I'm going to look at this memory.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if that was like the idea for a film? Like, you take someone that's been through the most horrible, like really horrible situation, you like confine them to a chair and just make them live that horrible memory over and over and over again.
That is sadistic.
Thanks.
That's kind of like the white bear episode, though.
Yeah. No, that is cool. I do like that. No, I don't like it, but that I like it.
You like the idea for a film, not for someone in real life.
Yeah, I mean for me, no, thank you. But yeah, for someone else, they can suffer. I don't care.
Oh, I like the one with the dating program, and they have the time, like the limited time with each person.
See,
I think that's
I haven't watched that one. I know exactly what one, but I haven't watched it.
You should.
Is it good?
It's not one of the best, but I like it. I think it's interesting.
So what's the like premise?
So basically, I think everyone is like put into this dating system, and then you would get paired up with, say, Jerry, and it will say how long your relationship's going to last, like from the beginning.
Oh my
so
gosh.
it'll be like 3 days or 5 years. But then I think you're following the story of one couple that decide that they want to continue the relationship after this time.
Oh, okay, so it's a bit different. Oh, that actually does sound decent, because I actually really don't like film or TV that's like online dating based. I really don't like it, because I think it's the idea of online dating freaks me out. I've never done it. I was already with Ryan by the time like Tinder everything sort of bloomed, and the idea just really freaks me out. It's so alien to me, so that anytime I see anything about it, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna skip it. I don't like it. I don't understand it.
It is. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I don't know how I feel. Like my friends are all just like, oh yeah, I met up with this guy that I met online on Tinder. I'm like, how long have you been speaking to him? Like a week? Sorry?
Yeah, it's perplexing to me, but I understand. That is just a very common way of meeting someone now. Like, super common. Like, oh, I'm just going on a Tinder date. I'm like, no, meet them at a shop or something. What? Like, that's how you're supposed to meet people. Like, future dates at, like, bars and stuff. It's weird.
You're supposed to bump into people in the grocery aisle and buy some grapes together and then go back to their house.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're on about. Oh my gosh, nice little twist of affairs there. That was good.
I don't know if there are any more that like really stand out to me.
No.
Obviously, you said your favourite one, which we haven't really gone into depth about, which I hated. I can't believe you made me watch that.
Is it the act, obviously, of course, at the end, or is it the fact that the princess was actually alive and was out at the time?
I could live with that. I could live with that part.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that it did have to happen.
I know.
Oh my God, that just makes me feel sick. And it was absolutely torturous watching him like try and get out of it.
I know. And it was just, there was just something really like lurid about it. The fact that like he was like all like sweaty, and then like he's taking his clothes off ready, and it just made the act so much more real. I mean, I appreciate that they didn't do any simulation of it on camera. God, that would have been, I wouldn't have agreed with that, because I'll watch anything, but if it's involving animals, it's a big no. Like, just no.
Yeah.
I know it sounds horrible, but if it was human, I really couldn't care less in terms of like just visual medium for me personally.
Yeah.
But
It just depends on it. That particular act, animal or human, I think just keep it off.
Yeah.
Like,
fair enough.
Have the same effect of it being like I told you to watch that one. I thought you would like it.
Thanks.
Landmine
goes click.
click.
Yeah, I did actually watch it.
Which was really good, but it just, you know what I mean? It goes on for so long. I was like, you could have done quick cuts and then just focused on the horror of the other guy's face.
Yeah,
watching.
especially like, if it's not if it's something that everyone has their own gripe within something, which I totally agree. And if it's not your thing, it's like, well, yeah, like I totally understand where you're coming from with that film, because it did bear heavy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah. And like all the build up before it, I think that was done really well, and you could see where it was going.
Yeah.
Like you knew where that was going to go, but it was like you just didn't need to show it, because all of the build up before was horrible enough.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to show it.
I mean, it was traumatizing.
It was a good film.
Yeah, it was good.
The end, like the bits after that, I was like, oh my god, that was
It
wild.
was good. I mean, I'd heard of the film, but I always presumed it was like a war film, just because you hear the word landmine.
Yeah.
I thought it was like not even like a war horror, like Dead Snow or Overload or anything. I thought it was like a battle on the Western Front situation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was not.
no, it was not.
But you know what I mean? I said it sort of reminds me of is it Last House on the Left?
Yeah.
Like that is very similar energy.
Yeah, just a word of warning there, never watch Irreversible.
Okay.
Like seriously, I'm having to study it. It's one of my favourite films actually, but I'm having to study it for an essay, and I had to watch it's a 10-minute long scene in which the camera does not move for the entire time, and that's all I will say. 10 minutes long, and I've watched that scene 3 times over yesterday, because I need to analyse the colour palette of it, and yeah, like definitely, I'm glad I had headphones in, because I would definitely get some weird looks from neighbours.
What's the rest of the film like? Is it about that scene? Like,
it's actually really interesting. So the film is shown in reverse chronological order. Okay. So if I'm correct in terms of the numbers, there's like 12 scenes. They're all long takes, about 20 minutes long, some of them even. So the ending is the beginning. The second scene in the beginning is the second scene from the end. It's shown in reverse. And it centres around this woman called Alex. She's on a night out with her boyfriend and her ex-partner, who she's remained friends with. The act happens in the middle of the film by some random person in a Parisian subway or tunnel. And it's about the 2 men trying to get revenge. So the beginning shows them seeking that revenge, committing the act, although, spoiler alert, because I know it's not going to be your cup of tea, I wouldn't recommend it for you, they end up killing the wrong guy. And the guy that did it is just standing there laughing at them, and then it just follows through, and it's sort of about, it's showing the reflection of time, how inconsequential it is when something horrible happens, because the end of the film shows Alex and her partner in the morning just having a lovely life, enjoying themselves, getting ready for the night out, but not even what's going to happen to her, what has happened to her. So it makes all the memories, any idea of having a pleasant time, seem fruitless.
Yeah, so that's really interesting.
It is really interesting. But again, it's very graphic. Very.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Cool. I'm not going to watch it, but cool.
Yeah. It's hard to get a hold of anyway, so.
Did you like the one where they're like in basically Star Trek?
The US Callister or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I didn't not like it, but I wouldn't ever watch it again, because a lot of the Black Mirror episodes I do actually rewatch. I wouldn't watch it again. I kind of thought it was a bit of a dud, sort of.
Yeah. My co-worker was like, oh, I love this one, you should watch it. And then we watched it and I was like, that was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That's the perfect
3 out of 5.
way.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what the topics are. I'm not reading this in depth. I'm just kind of
No.
skimming it.
Not a clue.
Do you know any idea? Not a clue.
And especially since it comes out soon. But then, to be fair, it's like
Yeah.
near enough a month. So probably like today they'll release something.
Oh, do you know what is a weird one? The one where her husband dies, and then she has him like remade or like
Placed into a
remade?
robot.
It was like a ghost. Oh, I thought it was like a ghost.
Wait, is it the one
Robot.
with the ginger guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was like an AI sort of robot body
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, like his
Yeah.
consciousness was like uploaded to a new body, sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I like it.
Weird.
I like it, but
That's one of those ones
Weird.
where I'm like, that's weird and I hate it.
yeah,
If Nathan died, would I do it? Probably.
that's the thing.
Right. Unless he explicitly said, "Do not upload my consciousness to anybody," I'd be like,
Yeah, I'd be like, well, you didn't
I'd
say
be too
not to.
unhinged. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's all well and good saying no, but then the devastation and destruction, especially considering that they're like a younger couple. If it was like older, when they sort of reach that conclusion, you could sort of like live with it. But when
Yeah.
you're like 20 something, 30 something, whatever, even 40, it's like, well, you have a chance to just have their presence still with
Yeah.
you, their aura. But then knowing, right, he would absolutely hate that. So I'd feel
Yeah.
wrong doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He would be like, "No, don't do that," and I'd be like,
But please.
but I'm on my own."
I don't do well on my own. I don't.
I would do it for my dog in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, 100% dog.
Dog's not conscious enough to have a crisis about it. Dog would just be like,
Okay.
alive again.
Food. Ball.
Yeah. Food. Ball. Mum is back. Yay.
Yeah, the dogs, it would just be happening. I'd just 100%. But yeah, humans, I don't know. I don't know. That episode definitely freaks me out. I've only watched that once because it almost made me uncomfortable because I don't like being, what's the word? Like confronted with something that I fear.
Yeah.
And there's
That being death? Or...
No, see, death doesn't bother me. Well, it does, but obviously, of course. But the idea of Ryan not being here, that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if there's a horror film and it's a young couple and the husband dies, it really like bothers me. I don't know. It's because it's like my worst fear sort of thing. Like in terms of, because of course you have fears like spiders and ill people and dying and sort of stuff like that. But
I can't stand. They're usually romance films where it's like a young couple and one of them gets terminally ill.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
it. It's like, have you ever watched P.S. I Love You, that rom-com? Well,
I
not com.
haven't.
But it's so sad. It's so sad. It's like, the only one I can bear, really, is The Notebook, because the idea is that they are still together in the end. But I do love, like, romantic comedies. But when you get, like, a terminally ill person, that's just, it's my worst nightmare.
You know what one absolutely destroyed me? And I still keep watching it because I love it so much, but it just, like, puts me on the floor every time. Is Me Before You. Oh my gosh,
I read the book.
And the fact that she thinks
God.
she can change his mind and she can't.
I know.
Kills me.
It's such a great adaptation because, I mean, it's different from the book, but it captures the sadness of it, especially Emilia Clarke. She's such a bubbly actress. And it just makes it even sadder because I feel like she has this innocence about her and he's just miserable, which you can understand the guy's miserable. You can understand that.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, the one I don't mind too much because it's a sort of mutual situation is The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, yeah, the book really got me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, everyone read the book because when it came out, I was like 16 and like everyone was reading the book and I read the book and I loved it.
Yeah, so did I.
And it's so sad. But yeah, there's just something about it happening. It's like, that's why I won't watch a film like, there's like a film called like A Dog's Purpose and about a dog that goes missing and stuff, because that's also like, I hate the idea of that.
Did you hear about that dog recently that he was like abandoned and left at that adoption centre? They didn't want him anymore, they got rid of him. And then he got adopted by a new family and then he ran like 30 miles. It took him like days or something. to get, and he went all the way back to his original home.
Oh my gosh.
Ran all the way home. On the first day of being adopted, ran away from his family back to his first family.
That's so weird.
Like, that's so sad.
That is so weird. It's
He
how
just
he
wants
knew.
to be with his normal
I
family. He doesn't want his
know.
new family. Oh. And that's probably so sad for the people that adopted
I know,
him. Like,
knowing that
that
he's
he
going to
just
be
ran away.
sad.
yeah.
I know, it is sad. It's like, I mean, I like Paul O'Grady's Battersea dogs. And obviously, Paul O'Grady died, and I was really sad about it. But there was like a Cocker Spaniel on there called Murphy, and obviously Smurf is called Smurfy. And I was like, I can't watch it. I can't watch it.
Yeah. It's sad.
It is sad.
I don't think there are any Black Mirror episodes about dogs, are there?
No? Not about... No, wait, there is. There's Metalhead, I think it's called. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring.
No.
And it's like a cyborg dog sort of situation.
Oh,
the
yeah,
black
no,
and
I
white
didn't like that
one?
one. That doesn't count.
No, that doesn't count. That was boring.
That's not a dog. That's just a
I
robot.
know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Black Mirror, as much as I love it, there are definitely some episodes that I would say, like, no, I don't even bother watching it.
Yeah, that is one of them.
Yes, 100%.
I know it sounds so like modern day child of me, but I don't like things in black and white.
That's
like
totally fine.
I need the colour to keep my brain engaged.
That is fair enough. That is fair enough.
Like obviously there are some things that are good and in black and white, but
Yeah.
like if it's a modern day like if it can be in colour, it should.
Yeah. I mean,
If it's old and it's black and white because it's old, fine.
what do you think
but
about like certain scenes being in black and white rather than the whole film?
I can tolerate it. I do prefer like the early 2000s. I'm thinking of a memory, blue hue, slightly
yes.
blurred edges. I love that.
Yes.
So cheesy. That's a good way of doing a memory.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I find it fascinating how, without even stating it, you can tell when sometimes the scene's a memory just based on how it's filmed. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I love it. It's a little bit cliche, but I love it when someone's looking at a photo, and especially if it's like a black and white photo, and then they zoom in, and then it goes from a still image and then starts moving, and if it's black and white, it goes into colour because
Yes.
you remember in
Yeah.
colour. I love
I
that.
don't know. There are some nice little niche cinema techniques out there. But yeah, no, I mean, loads of people think that about black and white movies, so it doesn't really matter. All that matters is if you like it or
Yeah.
not. That's
Yeah.
all. Thank you for listening to episode 14 of Theoretically Horrifying. Let us know in the comments what is your favourite Black Mirror episode. Bye!
Thanks for watching.